This is Living Your Life Well Planned, the 80-20-365 system invented by Adam Vincent Gilmer. I'm your host, Gene Velitis, and welcome to episode number 10. And maybe you're listening to this or watching it on Adam's website weekly or daily, or you're binging, whatever you're doing, welcome back. On today's episode number 10, how to actually use the 80-20-365 planner for 1 week, 4 weeks, and 90 days. Now, as always, to get the most out of these podcasts, or if you're watching it on Adam's website, you're watching the videos of these two unbelievably handsome guys, right? Make sure you order your daily planner so you can follow along with the bouncing ball. The daily planner will give your life direction. It's something that you will carry with you. And you know what? When you get into this every single day, and trust me, it's happened to me, when you misplace your planner, it's the equivalent of when you lose your cell phone. And you know when you can't find your cell phone, how you have that momentary panic and you're saying, that's all my information, all my, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? That'll happen with your daily planner. So make sure you go to the site, order your daily planner. It's going to help you with everything in your life. It'll give you life direction. But as you listen to these free, operative word, free podcasts, you'll be able to follow along, and Adam will show you his as we progress throughout the year here, and you're really going to need it. Okay, so today, Adam, we're going to show everybody how to use our daily planner for week 1, 4 weeks, and 90 days. The obvious question people are going to be thinking is, well, why 1 week, 4 weeks, and 90 days?
Okay, because you plan on living it anyway, or being alive for the next 90 days. So let's talk about having an opportunity to be at a high performance individual, or become that high performance individual.
Okay.
And what I want to ask people, this at the opening of this episode, is this: when you first start anything new, it's not easy to do, because you're running on somebody else's plan, right? But what happens is and Gene, I love what you said. When you lose your iPhone or you lose your phone. And here's what I want to tell people. When you go down to the store and you buy your $1,200 phone, Galaxy, iPhone, whatever, okay, whose phone does it become?
Well, it becomes your phone.
Amazing, right? But, but it's an iPhone, which is made by, Apple or, Samsung Galaxy, whatever the case is, right, for people. It becomes your personal phone. When you go down and you finance your car, Mercedes, BMW, smart car, whatever it is, okay? Whose car does it become?
Becomes your car.
Okay, so what you now, when you go down and if you're wearing glasses like myself and Gene do to see, when you go down and get the prescription of your nice, sexy glasses and you buy them, whose glasses do they become?
Well, they're now my glasses.
Okay, so this is the start of having people understand something. It becomes your planner, okay? It's not my planner. It is, when I say it's my planner, yeah, this one is mine, okay? This one is mine. Okay, what I'm saying to everybody is that it becomes yours. It's a personal thing. And what I love is, people, if you go on my website or on my Facebook page, and you'll see the business meetings I'm in, I'm always walking around with a planner. I have it with me. It's in pictures. And what happens is I'm going from meeting to meeting to meeting or what have you. And I sit down with somebody. And I just want to give everybody the aha moment. And then we'll go over and talk why a week or 4 weeks, 90 days. When somebody sees you showing up neat and tidy, planned, organized, you flip open your planner and they see your purpose and they see your 5-year bottom lines. They don't know anything about this yet. They're just looking at you, evaluating who is this individual. And remember, you might be sitting down for the first time with this person or whatever the case is, second time, 10th time, and they're like, what are you doing? And you're showing that you actually have a specific plan. Just like you would do if your phone rang, if you checked your email, if you turned or push we don't turn keys anymore in cars. We push start buttons. The vehicle's yours, the phone's yours. This planner becomes your life. And that's why when Gene opened up, he said, have you ever lost your phone? I can't stand it when I don't have my planner with me, because it becomes such an everyday part of what I'm doing. And the reason why I have it is mostly to impress upon myself that I am living my dream. And just for everybody tuning in, it's great to make millions and millions of dollars. It's fantastic. I've been broke, okay? But you should have seen the person I was like prior to becoming massively successful, okay? I didn't have all these things down. I didn't know what to do, but I got with the right kinds of people. I listened to the right kinds of people on either, back then it was audio cassette, okay? It became CD. Now you can listen to people online digitally. And I listened to what I call my mentors, these great thinkers, had done. And it was a mental process. What I'm trying to do is get you to do it. But what I do is, it's impossible for me to show up anywhere in my life, at a doctor's appointment, on a plane, whatever the case is, without my planner either in my briefcase, with me, tucked down between my seat in the car. It is that much of a habit for me every single day. And when I tell people that I'm really living, the American dream, Gene, I don't know if people, I didn't want to end up a failure in life. So I wanted to be successful. And I had to see what other successful people were doing. And then I said, how come these people have a plan? How come the house you're living in, or the building that you're in, or the studio that we're recording this in, somebody built it. Somebody had to plan it out. How come our life doesn't have a plan? And then the question is, Gene, the building that you're in and my home, it's probably going to be standing for the next week, next month, next 90 days. Okay. And if you start to ingrain this into your methodology, your daily mode of operation of what you're doing, the reasons why the planner goes with me everywhere. And by the way, here's the next 90-day planner, because we're in the month of March, and then I have April, May, and June in here. And I'm ready. I'm like, I'm actively involved, making sure that I have a plan. In fact, in my office, I have a 6-month calendar up on my wall of all the places that I'm going to be traveling. Now, because of this coronavirus, we'll have you change this month, but that's okay. It's not going to change long term. There's events that we're doing around the world. They are planned. You cannot go through life as a wandering generality, a ship without the rudder. Okay. No sail up. You have to have a plan. So if you plan on being somewhere in the next year, arriving at a destination for you to say, man, I'm becoming successful, I want to see the work. If you come to my house, you spend time with me, or you get yourself any of the planners that come in a box like this, okay, four planners in a box. My life is planned. In fact, behind me here, I have the last 5-6 years of my life on my shelf. So when somebody says, what were you doing back in 2018 on this day, I can actually go and look it up.
Yeah.
That's the power. So when you go in and you see Michelangelo's work, or any great artist's work, they were planning, they performed. And if you sit down and you ask them, like, what gave you the genius to think about painting the Sistine Chapel? We can't go and ask Michelangelo anymore. But the point is, it's written down somewhere. There's a record of it. It's history. And what I'm trying to get across in my point is, the reason why you want to have the week planned, the month planned, the next 90 days planned, is that becomes not only the future that you're planning to become, but as you arrive at that date, the stuff that you've done becomes your history, becomes the success steps, becomes the written documentation of your life lived out. Okay. This is why you want to have a 90-day planner. By the way, it's not just a planner. It's an organizer. It's where it's a daily journal. It's a place where you can put your expenses. It's a place where you can plan out the specifics. You might have, like Jessica just had her birthday in February, my wife. These things are planned. We went to New York, it's planned. Which hotel, it was planned. Which airline did you take? It was planned, okay? And by the way, why shouldn't your life not be planned? Like, I'm not saying that you don't leave, random stuff to happen. Random stuff happens every single day. But the point is, during that randomness, you're not a wandering generality. You are a high performance, well-trained, well-educated person living on purpose, moving your life in the direction that you desire it, the outcome. And that's why you want to have your weeks plan, your month plan, your 90-day plan, and then the next 90-day planner, and then into the fall, and then obviously end of the year, so that when you come back and maybe we're meeting on the road somewhere, you're listening to me say, listen, you know what, I got your planner, I started trying it, it was difficult at first, man, I got into my purpose, I started doing my planning, I did my performing, and I've gone through the 7 wonderful new habits, and I've become a different person. Please don't be shocked if I give you a big hug, okay, and say congratulations, because these are the steps. These are the things that you have to act out in order to become the person that you're really becoming.
Yeah.
And that's why you want to have a plan, Gene, for 90 days.
You know, and here's something that's really interesting, and you and I have always had a really, really good laugh about this when we're trying to explain this concept to people. If you have no goal and if you have no plan, you will also achieve that, which is nothing. So that's why you need a plan
1000%.
and a goal. I mean, who wants to achieve nothing? I mean, why wander aimlessly into the future to achieve nothing? And this is why this system is so great. So let's just break it down a little bit further so people who have their daily planner out with them and they're looking at it, what should you incorporate in that week one? What should you incorporate into that 4 week?
Okay.
What should you incorporate into the 90-day plan? How are the 3 different, and how do we get moving on those? And the other side question to that is, what if I get discouraged, and what if I kind of get off track a little bit?
Okay, awesome. So I'll cover all those. I'm going to move away from my current planner, which is the first quarter of this year. Now, I know we're not through the first quarter yet, but we're into the month of March. So
Yeah.
it's almost done. It's almost done, right? So, and for somebody's going to look at this and go, oh my gosh, everything's planned out, organized. Okay, so here's what it looks like when it arrives. Ready? Nice and blank. Okay, there's nothing in here. Okay, but listen, just like an artist, you have a canvas every single day.
Right.
And the beautiful thing is that you get to repaint and redo the colors that you want every single day. If you're going through the scenarios of the habits and you find out that, man, hey, this is what I don't like, this is what I really like, we've just moved you to actually the right side of things, saying, man, here's here's the colors you can reincorporate into your next day. So you understand, you get your planner, you open it up, you do the purpose finder exercise, which we've talked about already. You do your 5-year bottom lines. This one's blank. Then you do your monthly bottom lines, the little one step out of the 60 to get you towards that you're going to happen in your life. You open up your calendar. This is April, by the way. Now you'll see in mine, I've already put in the dates. Is that showing up there? Okay, there it is. I've already put in the dates, and I've got April. And then watch this. I have the month all planned out. Okay, now I say planned out, written in. Okay, and this April, May, and June. Now, why am I doing this? Here's why. I've already given myself permission, and you're going to give yourself permission too, for those folks listening, that the next 90 days is going to look fantastic. You're actually telling the canvas how incredible your life is going to be as a pre-positioning, doing the pre-work, and you didn't even know that we're doing that to you, but that's what the planner does.
Right.
It focuses what you want to get done. And then you go to your daily sheets. We already covered the left, the right-hand side. You know, there's preparing, preview, performing, and review. On the left and right side, it's broken down to the 80-20 rule so that you can focus specifically on 20% high payoff activities versus 80% low payoff activities that everybody can do. And you stay focused. Why is this important? Because I believe that if we can move you towards actually making your life become a reality, the one that you really want, not the upset, emotionally broke person that you might be now, but to the person that you say, man, I have more confidence. I have a plan. I'm showing up in my person that I'm wanting to be. And by doing this every single day, even though you can have regret, things didn't work out, the sale didn't go through, And Gene, I don't close all the business that I do. Okay. I get told no. Can you imagine that? People actually tell me no. But it's not what stops me. What stops me, what doesn't stop me is I have this determined will that's running inside me, my purpose of the person that I am becoming. And I have it written out here. And I read my purpose statement earlier on the last episode. So if you haven't watched that, go listen to that. If you're just watching this one, so you understand, I am doing exactly what I'm asking you to do on a daily basis. What kind of support is there for you? Well, not only do we have website support, you can go through the entire library and see how to do all this stuff. But if you really have to, you can reach out to me. Okay. I'm sort of like, you can reach out and say, hey, listen, I really want to connect with you. And let's talk about this, that, or the other. In fact, I had a friend call me 2 nights ago. And he said, listen, I've got a confession to make. He told me his confession. I'm not going to say what it is, what have you. He spent a little moment of reality on the phone. And he called me the very next morning, which was yesterday morning. And he said, thank you for being there and spending 5 minutes with me. Now, wasn't planned in my planner. It was a random phone call that I got from the friend asking, he was at a down point in his life. We spent 5 minutes. Basically, I told him to go take a nice hot shower, get into bed. Let's talk in the morning. And at the end of the day, I said, listen, make sure you bring your planner with you. We talked in the morning time, talked about his purpose, made some adjustments. Oh my goodness. And I get a thank you. Now listen, it wasn't a money-making phone call for me. What I mean by that, it wasn't like $100,000 phone call, okay? It was me caring enough about an individual. And you're going to do the same thing listening. Not only are you going to get more planned and organized, but you'll start to realize that you're like, wow, this is actually living life in balance. Spirituality, brain, body, managing your time, working with the right kinds of people. And what's really amazing is that when you start to balance your life, you become this magnet. And what I mean by that, Gene, is not only you're magnetized to other people, but you start attracting, by becoming the person that you're supposed to be.
Yes.
You're starting to attract to your reality what is really going to show up in your life. Just that's a reason to do this every single day. So if you're going to get discouraged, it kind of pulls you on track. And then the other thing, to answer the second part of your question, because we have a daily scoring system where you can try and get 10 every single day. Actually, if you do a really good job, you can get 11. But because we have this in here, what it does is, as you look back at the pages, as you're going through the book, you can see what you weren't doing so good.
Okay? Yes.
And what you weren't doing so good, you can look and say, hey, listen, I because you're noticing I'm not doing that, you can now refocus your energy into, hey, I'm going to focus on my favorite thing first. I'm going to use my planner every single day. Actually, one of the things I did many years ago was use your planner every day as a favorite thing first, which forced me to say, let me do the planner every day.
Right.
Okay. And these little things show up. And by the way, then you get an aha. You can write in your aha, an epiphany moment, eureka moment. You're like, aha, maybe this is why Adam's so successful. Okay. And Gene, you remember me when I wasn't so successful as well. You know the climb. You know what it's like. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's not easy, but I'm telling everybody it's so worth it by just putting in the time, energy, and effort and giving yourself, not being down on yourself, but giving yourself enough, having enough gratitude for who you are as a person. Not for me, not for Gene, but for you, the listener. Being thankful for who you are, realizing that it's okay to make mistakes, errors, and judgments, what have you, because tomorrow is a brand new canvas. Actually, it's not even a tomorrow thing, Gene. Right now is a brand new moment. Right now is a brand new moment, right? And people have to get that into their consciousness. It's not in the future. It's a present state of mind. And you can change that anytime you want. It's not, you own that free and clear. You're in complete control of that all the time. And you are the person who determines the future of what your life is going to look like. And this is what we're trying to do for you all.
Yeah. Before we wrap up this episode, I want to deal with something that I believe maybe about 90% of people who get involved with us and get their planner and start doing this as a daily habit may experience just like I did. I have a term for what may happen in your life, and I call them the dream pirates. And I remember opening up my daily planner, and somebody said, now this is somebody who, as we mentioned in a previous episode, had no plan and had no goals, and they were achieving that nothingness. And they said, what's that? And I said, well, it's my 80-20-365 success planner. And it's something that I fill out all day, and it's filled with my purpose and my dreams. And it has a 5-year plan. And this person looked at me and said, oh, that stuff doesn't work. And they were a dream pirate, and they were trying to take away my dream. And I quickly realized that, you know what? Nobody peeks into my daily planner. It's mine. I'm only accountable to me. I don't tell people about what my dreams and my goals are. I just let them happen. And when people see what's happening in my life, it's interesting. Instead of saying, what's that book? They start saying to me, how did you make all this stuff happen? And I say, well, I have a little book here. I would just go to Adam's website and make that discovery for yourself. So, what do you tell people to, when the dream pirates get in the way of what is really a fantastic plan? Because those dream pirates are out there.
Yes, they are. For me, Gene, one of the big dream stealers, pirates, was somebody that I have a relationship with. Okay, and look, it's not an unknown secret, but to me, it was my father. Okay, I love my father, care about him, but when I'm being genuine with everybody, so everybody knows that this is not easy to confess and tell you all, but I need to let you know that I couldn't, by becoming a man, I couldn't allow my father to stand in the way of what I really wanted to do in my life. Okay. So I had to have the, uncomfortable, direct communication. And by the way, it might be a wife, it might be a significant other, it might be a girlfriend, boyfriend, it might be your brother or sister. But you've got to sit down with these people who are stealing your dream and say, listen, because what you're really looking for is them to love you for you and to give you it's okay permission to go on this journey. That's what we're really wanting. We want the love and support. So you may have to ask a person, I need your love and support to move my life in this direction. It might not be what you believe, but this is my plan, my life, what I'm doing. And it's what I feel that I'm being called to do right now in the business and the opportunity, whatever it is, and move your life in the right direction. So, and by the way, it's called being authentic, Gene. Okay. You and one of the other episodes you talked about, looking at yourself in the mirror, right? And all of us do this every single day. Every single day. You look at your reflection, you look at yourself in the rearview mirror in the car, getting ready in the morning, brushing your teeth before you go to bed. What are those little thoughts telling you? When you look at yourself, you say, man, I am successful. I am incredible. I'm intelligent. I'm a child of God. There's things that I'm just giving you the thoughts that came to my mind right there. But when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm not looking at myself going, you're terrible. You're this, you don't really, no, because that, and you see how I cut that off right there? No, that's not what we're doing. We're moving it this way. That self-talk, there's lots of research on this. You have to move away from the people and the thoughts that are holding you back and give yourself permission first to move in a direction. And here's what's going to happen. And I've said this before. It's interesting when I talk about my father, but you should see what he says about me now. Okay. It's not the same conversations we had years and years and years ago. The conversations are much more about, wow, here's what my son's done in his life. He travels around the world. He takes his family. And by the way, it's not that I'm doing this I'm doing this because this is how I believe I should be living. Okay. And what I'm doing. And by doing this, I've given myself permission to be a much, much better, more attractive, nicer, incredible, high performance leader. And this is how I show up. This is why you want to have your 90-day planner. This is why you want to have your days, your weeks, your months planned out. And you want to not only get the planning system, but spend some time, because somebody is going to ask you, what are you doing? and writing this stuff down. Why does it work? I'll tell you why it works. Just like writing a book or riding a bike or driving in a high performance sports car, which I plan on doing later on today because I got visitors in town. It is, it's a design. And why shouldn't you live your life designed versus undesigned? And
Yeah, exactly.
you should. You should. And that's what we're talking about, Gene.
Right. Now, talking about the Dream Stealers, that's a pretty heavy duty topic. I want to wrap up episode 10 here with another little thing. And just a personal story here. I think of when you and I used to drive up and down highways in California, and sometimes we had
Right.
10 and 12-hour trips. But what always came to mind was whenever we would stop and pull over, you would always say, okay, we made it to here. Let's celebrate. And I would say, what are you talking about? So we go to Starbucks, we buy a silly drink or something. But the one thing I know they emphasize, and it's the opposite of the Dream Pirates, is celebrate victories, big and small, every day.
Correct. Nobody else is going to celebrate them for you, So you might as well start doing it. Listen, excuse me. You have to reward yourself, okay? Life is too short. We've all lost somebody that's really important in our lives at some place along our lives, mother, fathers, kids, loved ones, relationships. Life is way too short. So if you're doing, sorry, my voice, if you're doing the right thing, why shouldn't you celebrate that? And it doesn't have to be big, okay? Giving yourself a little recognition is an incredible booster, not only in confidence, but it's a affirmation that's living up and showing up in your life. And by doing so, you start to reward yourself, and I reward myself every single day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Hey, listen, if I score a 10 at the end of the day, I dance around the bedroom before I go to bed. And I know that might sound crazy, but you know what? When you get into this system, the first time you score a 10, man, I tell you, it's amazing. You'll probably want to phone up Adam and just, try to get a hold of him and say, I did a 10. I finally did a 10. It's really amazing. Well,
Gene, I know before we wrap up, I started a couple new people in our office. And I've got some amazing people around us now, and we have had. But I have a new assistant that speaks Spanish. And for those folks who don't know, I have different people in different parts of the world because our teams and organizations are multilingual. And I have people all over the world that do planning and work with me on a daily basis, and also plan and organize. I started a brand new assistant that speaks Spanish because I got a massive Latin team, and I put her on the planner system. Excuse me. And she's only been with us 3 or 4 weeks. This will be her 4th week, start of the new week. And she's already come back and said, I really am understanding how you get so much done. That says it all, okay? And this is just a person that's been around us for the last 3 weeks. But the beautiful thing is that because I can't speak, I know some words in Spanish, but and because I can't, and she's an expert at it, and she's also got a good business head, we've already moved her up to a different level working in our current organization. That should speak volumes to somebody listening in right now. And I know we're going to end up on this episode. We're here to help you change your life. I told you before, my passion, my mission, my purpose in life is to get you to become not only a high performance person, but to get the most out of this consciousness that you and I have, this incredible gift of life, and actually have you go live your dream. This is why we tell people living your life well planned.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to lead us up to our next episode, which is episode 11, how to determine and set up your monthly objectives and goals. It may sound a little challenging. It's actually a lot of fun. This is episode 10. Hope you enjoyed it. Episode 11 coming your way. Adam, thanks for that. Remember, go to Adam's website, 8020365.com. Make sure you have that daily planner. You really need it. And, as you go through this series, it's going to be going on for a year. I'm probably going to stop saying get your daily planner because I think you know the significance of having it
Just,
already. But if you're just
right.
picking up an episode at random and you don't know what it is, go to the website, get it. It'll give you your life direction. You'll be like Adam and I. If anybody touches our daily planner, we start to hit them over the head, say, that's mine, leave it alone.
Correct.
Living your
Thank
life
you,
well
Gene.
planned, the 80-20-365 system with Adam Vincent Gilmer. I'm your host, Gene Velitis. Stand by. Episode 11 is coming up next.